Classmates, imagine this. May wallet kang nakita sa hallway. Punong-puno ng pera. Walang nakakakita, walang CCTV, at kung kukunin mo ito, walang makakaalam. Pero ang tanong, ibabalik mo ba o kukunin mo na lang? Ngayon, kung ibabalik mo dahil ayaw mong mapagalitan o dahil may reward, hindi pa rin iyon tunay na moral act. Kasi ginawa mo siya for a reason. Pero kung ibabalik mo dahil alam mong ito ang tama, iyon ang gustong ipaliwanag ni Immanuel Kant sa kanyang theory na deontological ethics. Ang focus ng topic na ito ay doing what is right because it is our duty. Hindi dahil sa resulta o kapalit. So sa report na ito, ipapaliwanag namin kung bakit para kay Kant, ang moralidad ay nakabase sa duty at intention, hindi sa outcome. Introduction to Kant's Ethics. Moral actions are done out of duty, not for reward or personal gain. What makes an act moral is the reason or motive behind it. So ano nga ba ang ibig sabihin ng deontological ethics? Galing ito sa salitang Greek na dion, ibig sabihin ay duty o tungkulin. Para kay Kant, ang isang action ay moral kung ginagawa mo ito dahil ito ang dapat mong gawin, hindi dahil may gusto kang makuha o gusto mong iwasan. Halimbawa, kung tumutulong ka sa iba kasi gusto mong purihin ng teacher o kaibigan mo, hindi iyon tunay na moral act. Pero kung tumulong ka kasi alam mong tama ang tumulong, iyon ang moral para kay Kant. So ang point dito, ang intention or reason behind the act ang basihan ng morality, hindi yung ending ng kwento. So ngayon dumako tayo sa isa sa pinaka-importanteng concept ni Kant, ang goodwill. Goodwill is the only thing that is truly good without any condition. The intention behind the action matters more than its result. A person with goodwill acts because it is right, not because it benefits them. Sabi ni Kant, ang tanging bagay na truly good without any condition ay ang goodwill. Ibig sabihin, kahit hindi maganda ang resulta, kung ang intention mo ay mabuti at tama, moral pa rin ang ginawa mo. Halimbawa, nagbigay ka ng tulong sa kaklase mo sa project pero di pa rin pumasa yung group. Kahit ganon, good act pa rin yun kasi ginawa mo to with goodwill, with sincere and right intention. So para kay Kant, hindi mahalaga kung successful ka. Ang importante ay ginawa mo ang tama dahil ito ay tama. So ayon, in Kant's view, morality starts with a person's goodwill and sense of duty. Hindi ito tungkol sa kung ano ang makukuha natin, kundi kung ano ang tama nating gawin. Next, ipapaliwanag naman ng susunod na reporter kung paano natin malalaman kung tama ang isang action gamit ang tinatawag na categorical imperative.
According to Kant, mas mabuting siyasatin natin ang ating motive para sa ating action upang gawin ang isang bagay na nais nating gawin. Kailangan tama at wasto ang pamamaraan na ating gagawin upang ma-achieve natin ang purpose nito. We're doing that because we have duty to the universally accepted na rule to do good and avoid evil. Hindi pwedeng mali ang means and ways natin.
Short definition of legal rights and moral rights. Legal rights is an action considered legal if it does not violate any of the state's written rules, while the moral rights action considered moral if it fits within one's definition of what is good, though everyone has different standards. One example of legal right is civil rights. These are rights that citizens have, such as the right to vote and to participate in public affairs, and many more rights. When we talk about moral right, one example of this is creators' right of attribution, which means they have the right to be credited for their work, like a photographer having their name next to a photo they took. For example, when a photographer sells or licenses a photo, they have the moral right to have their name appear with the photo whenever it is published or displayed.
Good day, everyone. For this slide, I will be explaining the principle of oath implies can. This is one of the core ideas in Kant's moral philosophy. It simply means that if we oath to do something, it must be something we can actually do. In other words, we are only morally responsible for actions that are within in our control. For example, we can be morally required to stop an earthquake because that's impossible. It's beyond human ability. Well, unless if you're a superhero like Superman, might actually stop an earthquake or start one. So can I believe that moral responsibility depends on our capacity to act. If something is impossible, then it cannot be a moral duty. Moving on to the strengths of Kant's ethics. First, it emphasizes rationality and human dignity. Kant believed that all humans are rational beings who deserve respect. Second, it promotes moral consistency. By creating universal moral laws, what's right for one person should be right for everyone. Third, it values individual autonomy. The idea that we should treat others as ends in themselves, not just as tools to get what we want. Lastly, Kant's ethics encourages us to act out of duty, not for personal gain. We should do the right thing simply because it's right. In short, Kant's theory provides a strong moral foundation for fairness, equality, and respect. Now, let's look at the limitations of Kant's ethics. One main criticism is that it's too rigid. Kant doesn't allow exceptions. For instance, lying is always wrong, even if lying could save someone's life. Another issue is that it focuses more on intentions than consequences. This means that even if you meant well, but the outcome was bad, your action could still be considered morally right. It can also be difficult to apply in real life moral situations, especially when duties conflict with each other. Lastly, it assumes that everyone reasons about morality in the same way, which isn't always true. So while Kant's ethics is strong in theory, it can be challenging to use in practical, emotional, or complex situations.